Well, yeah. Now we're fucking.
Now it's for real.
Wow.
What?
Fucking, we already recorded 10 minutes and it wasn't even live.
Okay, well, that's good. That's good.
Checks out.
Oh, wow, that's loud.
Hey, so on the way over here, she was running up the stairs, and I'm like right behind her. And she slips.
Like I slipped.
And I stopped, bro. If I wouldn't have stopped, my face would have went
In my
straight into her
ass.
ass, bro.
Shouldn't have stopped.
I like my sandal slipped.
Hey, you know what's funny?
I'm all, man. Yeah.
Hey, you know what's funny? Right now, my coworker was cutting my hair, and I don't know. She brought up this guy that she saw on a dating website, and how it said like, it's funny that that just happens because she brought up this guy. She's I don't know. In the picture, it said they like eating ass, and she was like, "Dreh, do you like eating ass?"
You're about to eat ass.
Everyone is looking up. Let's see how much we're gonna learn about him.
Are we going right now?
Yeah,
Oh,
we're going.
sure.
It's all good. It's all good. So today, since it's my first one back, right? I just wanted to talk to you guys. Fucking bullshit, party and bullshit, party
Right.
and bullshit. And
We're the party. You're the bullshit.
straight up. That's why I'm sneezing because I'm fucking allergic to bullshit. But
You're allergic to yourself?
yeah. Imagine that. Not only
That's true.
am I allergic to alcohol, I'm allergic to my fucking self.
Yes. Life is
crazy.
All day I'm sneezing. I'm like, this motherfucking liar. One of the things I want to talk about today, I kind of want to talk about what's going on in the world. This is something I haven't really done. We haven't really done.
Current events.
Not necessarily current events, just everything that's fucking going on right
I'm
now.
oblivious to the subject. I don't know.
You don't know what's going on in the world?
No, I don't know anything.
There's so much shit going on in the world, like with like politics. I don't want to.
Oh no, we're starting to
Hold
get
on.
into politics.
Hold on, with politics and with like with this bill that was just shut down by the Senate that would have made human trafficking a strikeable offense.
Oh, I saw that. Yeah.
Really?
So check this out, right? So
It was shot down.
yeah, so check this out.
Oh, it's fine.
Right now, like battery on your spouse is now a strikeable offense, right? So you hit your wife, you that's a third strike.
That's right.
That's your wife hit your husband.
That's a strike. Yeah, it's a strike,
Okay.
right? So that's a third strike. You're done.
Okay, you
But-
got Amanda.
Dang, I
The-
can't hit
Strike you
that.
out.
The beautiful Amanda.
Yeah.
So you hit your spouse
Uh-huh.
and if you have two strikes, that's your third strike. You're going away, right?
Okay, cool.
But if you're a human trafficking or sex trafficking kids, what the Senate did was they shut down that bill, so it is not a strikeable offense under the third strike law.
Mm.
So I mean, it's still a felony, I guess, but like you're not, or I don't know. Apparently,
Even it's still a felony, and trust and believe if you go to prison, someone's gonna have
someone's
to.
gonna get your ass. Yeah. But it seems like right now, it seems like the government is kind of like protecting. I don't know. I listened to this guy and I don't know if he's just a conspiracy theorist or he makes a lot of good points, but they're kind of like making insinuations that like some of the people up there are like probably the ones that are doing it. And that's
Oh, you mean the Illuminati? Yeah.
No, not necessarily Illuminati, but like people like up in positions of power that are the ones that are doing.
I think
shit
you have
like
that
this.
whole thing with what's his face that was killed in jail.
Epstein?
Yeah, which Jeffrey.
So go ahead.
Yeah, no, his whole thing where he was just like he mysteriously died in custody. I'm like, what? And then the cameras were off when it happened.
Right.
There's like some crazy stuff that probably happened. So, and like who knows, man? There were so many powerful people that were involved that were connected to him. That would go on these plane rides, these sex islands, and who knows, man? There's so much power up there that we're talking about. Like I don't know. You could have something.
So check this out. So he brought up a good point. He goes, imagine this, right? Imagine you're fucking some star, some politician, right? And Epstein invites you to his island, his private island.
Mm-hmm.
He says, there's gonna be a party. There's gonna be chicks,
Dreh would be the first
drinks,
one,
right? So you show up, and there's some hot chicks waiting for you with the drink.
Right.
They look
Totally normal.
totally normal. They look of age,
Okay.
right? And she says that there's cameras all over the island or some shit, right?
Okay.
So you get on the island, there's fucking cameras, and then next thing you know, like, you know, these girls are talking to you, they're chilling with you, they're flirting with you, they're rubbing your back, and then they're rubbing your cock, and then.
Whoa.
And then, hold on.
Or-
And then you find out later
that they were all
that
sex
they were
trafficked.
all underage, right? And then,
Or sex trafficking.
and then you're fucking on camera.
Right.
So you're obviously saying
So like they're using that
that they're trying to protect themselves.
so that they're like tricking, so that they're tricking like these higher up people into like
They're
getting in
bribing.
trouble.
Right.
So then they have to fucking now we're gonna show this tape, or you're gonna go, or either you're gonna go say this to the public,
Mhm.
or you're gonna go endorse this judge, or you're gonna endorse this senator,
Okay.
or we're gonna show the public this video.
Yeah. If I'm gonna go down, you're gonna go down with me. So you better protect me so you can protect yourself. I don't
So-
know. Possibilities. There's always
I
possibilities.
mean, I don't know. I might need a tinfoil hat though. I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know
With
if
your head looking like that? Have you guys seen his head looking like that? Like,
Hey man, that's what happened. Hey,
I'm gonna buy you
you
makeup.
should have
How
seen
long
the
is this
car.
It's been there for how long?
Since April
We don't
4th.
even want to go into the
April
politics.
4th,
We just want to know what the hell happened to
Hey,
Dre's
so-
head.
So I got hit by a car. I got hit by a car that was not paying attention.
Who won?
Well,
Obviously, who's the bigger guy?
Yeah. So you know what's fucked? You know what's fucked up? Hold on. So look, let me tell you. Not many people get hit by a car and like walk away, right? I mean,
Right.
a lot of people, yeah, right. But like to be able to like
He just
be
wants to be terminally
fully functional with all my limbs, no.
We're not sure about the fully.
Yeah, I don't know about that
functional
either. You know?
part.
Yeah.
The
So-
limbs, maybe,
So-
not even the.
Extremities?
Well, I was gonna. Yeah, I was like maybe not the other limb, but you know, hey, yeah. At least I have my two arms and my
ED
two legs.
is like a
Yeah.
side symptom, a side effect.
Hey, you wanna know what's-
hit by a
You
car.
wanna know what's crazy?
What?
So one of the companies I work with, I'm not gonna say their name because I don't want to put them on blast, but in one of the pre-workouts, they have an ingredient that's listed that's been used to treat ED.
Oh, okay.
Really?
Yohimbe.
And you're gonna tell
What?
me this
Yohimbe.
after, right? Huh?
Yohimbe.
Oh, I don't even know what that is.
Oh.
Yohimbe is like
Then
a
you
it's
drop
like
it.
a
You
it's
said
like
you're
a
not gonna
source of
drop names and then you just drop
no
names.
Yohimbe is it's a
pretty
plant.
The
It's a plant.
okay.
Oh.
And so
That seems like that'd be a good.
Yohimbe.
hey
That
no.
seems like that's a good thing to drop. Like I'm sure they want you to drop that.
Yeah, but then okay, so look, that's Black Soul Nath, baby, right? All right, so here's the thing though, right?
Uh-huh.
So when I go to the gym, and I've never had it, when I go to the gym, I'm fucking focused. I'm ready to work out.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But it's funny because before I read the ingredients and I saw that, I noticed like after I had started taking that pre-workout, I'd be at the gym and I'd be like,
Checking people
I'm
out.
like, look at that girl, oh shit. And then
You're
I'm like,
that
then I'm like,
everywhere.
no, and then I'm like, oh
He's
shit.
all-
And then I'm
Oh
like,
shit, I'm getting
I'm
hard.
like, oh shit, I have basketball shorts on. Let me look the other way, you know, like oh fuck, you know.
Let me think about my grandma.
So then I'm like, dude, why it's a
Why is my gym partner so
Lord,
attractive to
Lord
me?
Google told you what. What's up? What's it called again?
Yohimbe.
Yohimbe?
Yeah, it's
I gotta get
also
some of
it's
that.
also
That looks like, that sounds like a Wakanda.
it's also like an alternative to caffeine. It's strong.
Okay.
Really?
It's strong.
Okay.
Yeah. You can get it at Whole Foods.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, in pill form.
Maybe would I get it from Blackstone Lab?
Yeah, you can get it from Black Soul Lab. It's
Okay,
called,
maybe
yeah.
maybe like hook me up with the first
Yeah.
Give me a little taste,
Hey,
bro.
hey, you're gonna go work out, get a good pump, and then you're
I
gonna call
should
it
be in a
beautiful
Porsche
man.
Magnum.
Oh, here's another secondary pump.
Oh,
Yeah.
Got him.
So luckily she wasn't listening to this.
Oh my god. Look at these guys.
Where are we going with this? Damn.
I don't know.
Well, your pre-workout, your other
Pre-workout.
So
activities
sex
that-
workers.
We were going back to body. You got hit by a car. Where are you?
Okay, all right.
It's like an ADHD program.
What happens when you
Sorry.
get hit by a
Sorry,
car?
sorry.
You
Alright,
just
so
swirl.
Not many people can walk away from getting hit by a car, right? And I've been hit by a car on my motorcycle 3 times already, anyways. So like, this was the 4th. Like, this should have been the one. The 3rd time
Right.
wasn't the charm. The 4th time wasn't either, right?
Right.
So as soon as the car hit me, like my head hit the floor,
No shit.
and I'm like, oh, here we go, lawsuit, right? So I looked to the side, and I must have been maybe a little groggy then because I looked like a newer car. So I'm like, this motherfucker has to have full coverage. I'm like, yes, I made it. And then fucking my attorney finds out they have limited liability.
Oh.
Yeah. So
But that covers you, right?
It'll cover a little bit.
I mean, it's okay.
Pay a
Like
couple
it's
months rent in LA.
maybe now maybe like one.
Yeah.
Or a car.
Yeah, there you go.
A little beater. Hey, I'm getting a car out of it. You know what I'm saying?
It is like.
I mean, honestly, I was like, damn, God, like, is this how you needed to bless me with a car? Like, a lump sum of money, like, all in one shot? Cool, I'll take it.
When's this gonna happen? When are you gonna be?
So the insurance already tendered the money, and then my lawyer made an additional claim for property damage for, like, the clothes I was wearing, the bike, the Ubers I've had to take since then.
Right.
They haven't tendered out on that one yet, and property damage in California for the minimum liability is $30,000, but I'm pretty sure they won't tender all that.
Yeah.
They might tender if I'm lucky like another 5 Gs, right?
Right.
So for the bodily injury, we're waiting. So I went to the hospital. So we're waiting. So by law, even though I have Medi-Cal, right? I have Medi-Cal. I've had it for like 10 years.
Yeah.
If there's a lawsuit or an insurance claim, Medi-Cal has a right to take 1/3 of the settlement.
Right.
Okay.
So I went to the hospital, and it's fucked up because they didn't attend to me. They didn't do shit. All they did was they took one CT scan, and that was it. So I'm hoping.
Well, only one CT
Hey,
scan.
hold on.
As a nurse, a CT scan costs a lot of money,
Couple grand,
especially
right?
since
Well, I hope they only take like $2,000.
Yeah. Hopefully.
'Cause, I mean, they're tied. They're able to take at least up to 5.
Yeah, ICD-9, ICD-10 billing coding
Yeah,
for
yeah.
CT is pretty.
Yeah. So hopefully they only take like 2, but so we're waiting on the bill from Medi-Cal so that he knows what he's gonna send me. You know what I mean? So he knows what he's gonna write that paper check for.
Okay.
So they called Medi-Cal. They called the Department of Health, and they were like, "Oh, call back next month." So we'll see. It's probably coming soon. Either way.
Patience, okay.
Yeah.
I know I got a car waiting.
So, but low-key, like, is that thing ever gonna go away on your head?
Yeah.
I think it will. So look, hold on. Last year I was shooting a 9mm handgun, and a bullet popped off, and it got stuck to my cheek, and I had a scar for like. You don't remember?
I remember.
Good luck. Like.
Yeah, you remember I had a scar? It went away.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming maybe it's gonna take a couple
Are you
more
putting
months.
some Moderna on that shit?
I bought some gel on Amazon. I'll buy some more.
Some gel?
Like scar
Like hair
gel. No, scar gel. Should I get some Moderna, nurse? Diva?
Yeah.
Or retinol.
Probably-
I'll get you some Moderna.
For those of you who don't know, Diva is my personal nurse. Not that kind of.
Like-
Not that kind.
Like
Not.
sponge bathing you and
Not
shit?
that kind of nurse. Not that kind of nurse.
I know.
Not that kind of
Sponge bathing you and all.
I'm gonna attend to you. I'm gonna be a nurse for today.
So, no,
Hey.
put that voice away.
So after my brain injury in 2012, right, I was in Rancho Los Amigos Rehabilitation Hospital, and I had a nurse like shower me, and at one point,
Rub your balls.
I had this hot nurse, dude, and that morning I just had to take a shit.
Oh.
I was
you're so good.
Bro, I was like,
At least you didn't have any of that. You
Hey, bro, you know what's crazy? I don't know. Well, I think brain injuries do kind of mess with like testosterone levels.
Yeah.
Because like, I mean, this is an adult podcast. I don't really care, but like, for a little more than 30 days after my accident,
Yeah.
no Yohimbe effect. No.
Really?
I don't. I like not
Yohimbe is
until-
more like Yohimbe.
Yeah, until one day. Yeah.
I want one day.
I said he's alive. He's alive.
Yeah.
Eventually,
Yeah.
Oh, man.
So,
after trying to revive it for a long time.
yeah. Fucking, I had to give him a pep talk and everything.
Yeah.
Fucking guy. So he was on strike.
Is that why
He's
your
like, you know what? I'm crashed out.
Is that why your right hand's so smooth?
Yeah,
You have so much motion on it?
You can't even get fingerprints off that one hand.
But now I can't get this motherfucker to shut up. I can't get this motherfucker to shut up,
That's
bro.
the Yohimbe effect.
That's a lady's thing.
Oh,
Like a fucking needy ass kid, bro.
Like you, bro.
Oh man, so what's been going on since you've been back, man? How long you been back now?
I've been back now. 7 months today.
7 months, so congratulations.
Yeah, 7 months today. So I made my way back into the regular world. I was out with the I was with the zombies, zombie apocalypse. Something. I mean, it's fun, Dude, let me tell you.
Yeah.
I'm sure you know. There's like a whole underworld of like people that are like
course.
in like these dark societies where like they're fucking up all night. They're fucking,
Oh,
they're
yeah.
like
I used to
on
be
some
one of them.
shiesty shit,
Used
like,
to be.
Yeah,
but like
both of us.
they don't come out during the day,
Nope.
or they're in their hotel rooms
Yeah.
or whatever it is, you know. And I'm not,
Looking out the people.
you know what I'm saying? Like,
Watching,
like fucking.
watching Pornhub.
No, X, X, and X.
Oh yeah, that was cool. That was cool, you know. But yeah. So,
Then he lost his train of thought.
sorry, I was thinking about that website right now. Anyways, it's been a long time. Sorry, guys. That's what happens when you're fucking not in a relationship anymore. Apparently sex is hard to come
I feel
by.
like this is gonna become his like dating program.
This is gonna be like,
So, Diva, what about your long walks on the beach? I like long walks on the beach too. This and that. My
You know-
number, you can do that.
you know,
this and
I'm
that.
not really a scenery kind of guy. I'm more of like a
Like a
lock
motel?
yourself in the hotel.
cheap fucking
Like-
$40 night motel.
like let's just fucking go to the movies, not talk, and then fucking
I'm gonna put
hold
on the
hands,
bottom
hold
of
hands,
the popcorn.
hold hands, and kiss a little bit, and then fucking, and then we go to the bed after. Like I don't know, like the fuck, I don't know, like.
Okay, so it just reminded me of one of my worst dates ever. I think I was like
Tell me.
19, right? And
Right.
then the guy that asked me out, I don't know why I said yeah, but he had a beard kind of like Dreh, right?
Was he Hispanic or Filipino?
He was Filipino or something like that. I don't remember. Okay, I'm just trying to remember what.
Right.
Anyway, so he picks me up in a minivan. First of all, that should have been a red flag
Oh,
already.
fuck
Okay.
yeah.
Then he wants to go to the movies, like you said, and not talk, but he wanted to make out. But he wanted to make out after he ate nachos
Oh,
and a hot dog.
Oh.
And then motherfucker had shit on his beard.
Oh.
Like,
I
what
thought
are y'all
You should have
doing?
licked it off of him.
No.
terrible.
And after that, I was like, okay, this is it. Don't ever call me again. Like, drop me off at home, this and that, this and that. He was like trying to get me in the back of his minivan. I was like,
Ooh.
okay, I'm never gonna say yes to some random guy who asks me out ever.
That has
That's
a
a learning
minivan.
lesson.
Just
yeah.
ever, or that has a minivan?
No, ever. It's I've never.
Hey, you hear that,
that's
fella?
never
Sorry,
happened.
she's off the market, guys.
I've been off the market anyway.
Yeah.
So don't be like taking any girl out on a date in the movies, eating popcorns and all this stuff, like trying to save food in your beard, and then
Hey,
trying
he
to
was
make out
saving
with
it for winter time,
I
yo.
know. Like, I'm gonna get hungry at midnight. I need a midnight snack later.
Yeah, say that. I don't know.
Man, we're really going into this.
How much time are we in?
We're
right
at
now?
23 minutes in.
That's not
Yeah,
bad.
look at you. We're talking about your beard, your ED, and your
My
your,
leg dick.
your head injury.
Hey, which head? Which head?
Both.
Apparently
Both,
both
yeah,
got both got an injury out.
Yeah, even though no three, like, the one comes out of your ass when there's.
Oh, shit. That was a good one. I like that one.
Oh man, that's crazy.
This is about Cass's all.
Damn, she got my ass with that one. What's up with you, Dean?
What's happening with me?
You guys work together now. What's cracking with that?
Yeah.
We've been working together for a year, man.
I know. How is that? Tell me about it.
It's amazing.
Awesome.
I know. I'm trying to get.
Tell us
Yeah,
about what you
everybody-
do.
More.
Tell us about what you do.
Oh, we work with homeless folks. We're basically trying to get them.
house.
We're working through the whole housing process, from working with them like on the street and
Application.
applications, getting them hooked up with the housing authority, getting them documentation to prove that they're homeless, and the whole process is it's long and arduous and really drawn out when it can be really easy, but nobody wants it to be easy. They want you to have to run through all this.
Yeah,
red
like
tape, you know?
90-page application. Okay, but I want to put a disclaimer out there for the audience
Okay.
because I get a lot of this when I talk about our work,
Uh-huh.
and it's like, well, I have a friend that's homeless, and
Oh,
it's like
God.
we can't just pick random homeless people. We don't go out in
Yeah.
South Central and just pick a random person in
I
the corner.
know,
Okay,
I know.
they have to be referred to us. So we were telling you guys we can't just randomly
Right.
sign you up into the organization.
Yeah, they come through something called the coordinated entry system. So when someone's homeless and they go get services like homeless services, whether they go through like Weingarten or like Skid Row or some kind of services where they go get food or something. Yeah, like then they get signed up and into the system, and then someone goes and interviews them, and they take like scores on like their disability, their mental, physical, mental disability, or any number of things, and then their need, and then they throw them in the system, and then eventually the system spits them out to like organizations like we work for, and then you know, that's how we get our clients. We don't get them by picking them up or,
Yeah.
you know, doing outreach, you know. I think there is a portion of our company that does some outreach, but
That'd be cool.
we do not do that part.
Yeah.
So do not ask me.
Yeah, I get that all the time when
Dude,
I lead.
the
I
first-
got one earlier when I led
Oh.
in Baldwin Park.
First 6
You
months
went
I
to
worked as a
bowling?
job.
You let him on park?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
well,
me about that.
I got shot up last
Damn,
time.
hey,
You're
hey,
so
everybody's-
crazy.
Damn, dude, solo came out of him right now.
I know.
So, let's talk about homelessness real quick.
Oh.
That's something. That's one of the things. That's one of the rabbit holes I kind of wanted to go down.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I was talking to this guy, a client the other day, right? And I've kind of had this idea before, where like I feel like we're in a state like as a country. Honestly, forget the rest of the rest of the country
Just
because it's
California.
California.
Yeah.
It's like California is now the mainland for homelessness.
It-
Like it's all here,
by far.
like here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so like, you know, there's a part of me that's been wondering, like, what do we do? You know? And so like, I mean, what do you do? Like one, right?
Yeah.
They gotta want it, right?
Yeah.
And so,
But and then then we go into a different question by if you ask do they want it. Now, if you're talking about somebody who's on the corner talking to himself and not able to like even communicate with people, like
Yeah.
where's the choice in that?
okay, so that's where I'm going.
Yeah.
Like,
It
how do
boils
you?
down to
What do
a
you?
lot of
What
mental
I mean,
health.
what do you? So like, what do you do? You know, like, you know, my only thought, and so I was talking to the client about this. My only thought would be like, I don't know, fuck, like the state would have to just like round people up and kind of put them in a facility. But then, right? Okay, say we do that.
Yeah.
We take away that right? We start taking away their rights.
Right.
Then somewhere down the line, that allows them to take away our rights somehow, some way.
But that's like a repeat of history because we used to do that until 1975. We stopped doing that. We stopped putting people in institutions,
Yeah.
not for homelessness, but just for mental health
Mhm.
in itself. And then we created 5150s. But then if we're going to go back to that, then it's just like going back in history.
I mean, but did it work or no?
I mean, you know what? Growing up, because I'm a lot older than both of you guys, and I can tell you this that like when I was growing up, there was no there was homelessness, but there wasn't like in the suburbs of LA.
Yeah.
We would go downtown. My grandparents, they had a business, and we'd go deliver stuff downtown, and you know, you would see like a homeless dude in the
In the
alley
corner, yeah.
or something here or there, but it was nothing. I mean, like nothing like it is
Yeah.
now. You would see, you know, for every one you would see then, you probably see 50 today.
Yeah, yeah.
So like, there's definitely, we're doing something wrong, you know? Like,
When I was in Portland, when I was there for rehab, we went to Portland, Oregon, and this was still in COVID times, right? So everything was off. But the homeless population in Portland seems like it's almost 1-to-1 with like the other population. Like their homeless camps were like, I felt like they were even on the ceilings of the freeways. They were so bad. It was more dramatic than, let's say it was at least 5 times worse than LA. And then now I come home to LA and I'm like, oh my gosh, what's going on here? You know, because I've been gone for so long, and it's like really bad. It's so bad that like even an area like Diamond Bar, okay, Diamond Bar never had any homeless population at all whatsoever.
Right.
And now it's like we see them on the exit ramps and down the street, and so it is getting really bad.
dude, it's so bad, and it's never been like this. And you know, the thing with it is, if you look at the latest statistics that came out, they're like it's jumped by 10%. We have 10% more homeless people than we did a year ago.
Mm-hmm.
So like, whatever we're doing, we're not doing it fast enough. We're not doing it right. Something is wrong. You know.
You know what I see? Obviously, homelessness is homelessness, and it doesn't discriminate, right? But what I've noticed, like recently, like this year, I was living in Pomona. Maybe it's because I was living in Pomona.
That's
But dude,
that's huge.
no, like I've never really noticed how many young homeless women.
Oh yeah.
Like I'm talking beautiful girls that are like,
Yeah.
like 19 and 20, and I'm like, what the fuck?
Oh yeah.
Like,
I know.
how the hell? Like okay, when like back in the days when I was out and I had nowhere to go, I knew I was like, all right, cool, whatever, you know. But I always imagined that like a young pretty girl always has somewhere to go, but apparently not.
But that's like a stereotype that you have now.
I you know.
And I think maybe my client roster, more than 60% is in their 20s. So like my homeless clients are in their 20s.
I know, it's crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy. I mean, there's the drug addiction is a big part of it too.
Yes.
Well, that's okay. That's another thing I want to touch on, the fentanyl.
Oh, dude, fentanyl is crazy.
And so
What?
that's making the homelessness so much.
You like,
Hold on.
let's
Go back to
let's
go back.
The pause is
Let's
too long.
go back to homelessness real quick.
Okay.
Let's go back to homelessness. So, all right, you guys work in this industry, right?
Yeah.
If you guys had to like brainstorm something together as a team, right, and come up with like some approximate way to kind of get a handle on what's going on, like what would you want to do, or what have you thought about doing?
Yeah, you know, it's something I think about.
Because I know you think about it a lot.
I've written,
'Cause
like,
I don't work in it, and I think about it, so I know you guys think about it.
What do you go first, and then I'll tell you my thoughts. What do you got?
Yeah, I don't really need to elaborate much, but I remember I've done a report on this, and we've done like a pseudo what would we do in this situation, and it was like a lot of collaborations, you know, and a lot of housing, like making housing available and lowering rent, and it's hard because it's like, okay, we have mental health, we're getting it from the mental health part, we're getting it from the drug addiction part, then we're getting it from the
housing
economy,
costs.
the housing cost is rising, and nobody can keep up, and it's like we're always trying to tread water, and so it's like we have to have all the factors that are contributing as risk factors. We need to address those and then collaborate as a bigger like society overall. We have to like implement it. It can't be just like, oh, like a majority of our census. No, it has to be like a real movement. So
Shit, we gotta fix those other things first.
Or you need to like do it all at the same time.
Yeah.
And you know, this is where my mind goes, because you know, oftentimes you put people that have been on the streets, you know, who have these different value systems, because that's what they need to survive by on the streets. You know, like someone's making noise outside your tent, or someone's like messing with your stuff, you go and stab them, or you threaten to stab them.
That's so true. We have a lot of those
Yeah,
clients.
you know, and then they move indoors, and someone's like, you know, making noise outside or whatever, and they go outside with their fucking knife ready to stab somebody. You know, like
they're used to being like out in their environment.
That's just the way that works. You know, so like, you know, there's this transition where people go indoors and you think that everything's gonna be okay, and it's not.
They can't acclimate to it.
They can't. That's what our job is. Our job is sort of to mitigate, to find like a middle ground between them, you know, so that like when they go outside and want to stab somebody, and their manager goes, "What the fuck's wrong with you?" They don't go, "Fuck you, man." Like, you know, they have us to kind of bridge the gap a little, and that's what I do. And in 4.5 years, I've only had, well, one client leave housing, and a second one that left housing, but because he got into a car wreck and he was in the hospital for 6 months. But that's different. But so I mean, our jobs are effective. We can be very effective in our jobs, but the thing with it is like the amount of people that are coming in. Like the way I think of it is like, I wish that we had like just like some sort of massive, like, you know, Camp Pendleton,
funneling,
some kind of like thing that they close down, some kind of government campus that they close
like a
down.
whole state. Let's just close down a whole state. Okay.
You know, just like, you know, like Camp Pendleton. Remember or not Camp Pendleton? What was the camp that was up north? Anyway, it was like a big Marine or Army camp that they closed down along Fort Ord, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
They closed it down. You know, like if we could just like filter a bunch of people in there, and then have them work their way to where like they could you know, get into better housing.
Back into,
rehabilitate, like get them services there. Yeah. It's just like but like having, I don't know if you guys gone to Skid Row lately, but like people are openly smoking meth right there, and like you know,
fighting.
Yeah, he was one of those.
Yeah.
Fighting.
He was like last year.
Fighting, probably fucking, you know, all that. No, all that.
Fighting while fucking and smoking.
So
yeah.
So last year I walked through San Pedro and 9th. I had to take the bus somewhere, right?
Mhm.
And that's where the fucking bus left me.
Yeah.
Bro, I was like, fuck. I was just, like, I wasn't in fear, but I was like, all right, like, am I gonna have to sock somebody right now? Like, fuck, dude. And then it smelled like shit and piss.
Yeah.
You know, and then there's
We're
fucking,
always in places like that.
and then there's people that are fucking fighting, and I'm like, dude, what the fuck am I doing here? You know, I a long time ago, I was, doing coke, and I forgot. Somehow I ended up walking through Skid Row, and I remember seeing everything. It was just too much. And this was like in 2013.
That was a long time ago.
Right?
Yeah.
So, and it was already too much. It was already too much, though, you know.
Yeah,
It was already too much, you know. And so, like, and now it's just bad. So,
Yeah.
I think we need more deans and divas, and we need.
And it's hard because even in our organization, we're low staff. Like we're hiring.
Yeah.
Constantly.
What I gotta do to get hired?
Oh, dude, bro.
What?
Fix
I wanna help.
your head
I
first.
wanna help people. I gotta become a therapist.
No, you don't have to be a
not
therapist.
necessarily,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah. When you get to a year, come and see me. I'll get you a job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
You get your whip because it's a lot of driving.
Yeah, there's a lot of driving.
It's so much
Do they
driving.
pay for mileage though?
They do.
They do.
Once
yeah.
a month.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's cool because you get to really connect to people on a deep level,
You become family.
and you kind of like understand them and where they're coming from. You start understanding on a deeper level because it's easy to like be like working your regular job and seeing people on the street and going, oh, what the fuck, but like actually getting into people's lives and going, oh, this person was like a foster kid and then when she was just like let out and she was like abused by her foster family and then she she got turned out on the streets and you know what I mean, like the background and she may be like pretty messed up and like have these weird reactions, but dude, if you would have gone through some of the trauma that she'd gone through, like
You probably would have been in the same place. So
exactly.
It really induces empathy in a person who works in that field.
Yeah, or just get angry or both.
Yeah.
You're like, what the fuck?
There are times where we get angry.
Oh man. Yeah.
So
It's one of those things. But you know what? It's like a very, very, very satisfying place sometimes, and other times not. So
And there are success stories.
Yeah.
Where they don't even need us really. We just like connect and then just update each other on like the chisme of our lives. Now it's like you just become family. You're just like, oh, what's up? But they go on vacation. They have jobs and they have successful family and they're. Some do get exited out of the Section 8 program. So
what's funny is I work with I supervise a bunch of substance abuse counselors at work, and one of them went through the program, got Section 8 like 25 years ago. Yeah, kind of got her life together, got all this stuff. Like I think Section 8 pays like $80 of her rent right now because of how much she makes. They basically take 30% of whatever you make and it goes towards your rent. So if 30% is $80 less than your rent, they throw in $80 for you a month, which is really cool, right?
Which is actually a lot. It's still
I'll take it.
yeah. But I mean, like normally they're paying like $1,800, and now they're going, 80. So. You know what? I can't stand looking at you anymore. So get out.
You gotta go down.
Okay, guys, I'm gonna.
And you ain't gotta go home. You
You
gotta get the fuck out of here.
Hit me up next time.
Ooh, for those long walks on the beach.
I know, right? Okay, bye, guys. I love you.
Bye, Diva. Thank you.
Bye, honey.
See you later.
Bye.
See you at the Sunday night speaker.
Yes.
All right.
If I make it.
Well,
Now we can really talk.
yeah.
Check it out.
Let's talk shit about it.
Oh yeah, here's the keys.
Stop.
Just leave the keys in the door.
Oh my god.
You're fine.
There's someone
I'm
dressed
sure
it.
a homeless person. I'm pretty sure it's not gonna happen.
Not here in Glendora.
Yeah. Oh, damn! They're gonna come get us. They're not in Glendora or in Kentucky.
Yeah, that's right.
All right, Dean. So, all right, let's talk about fentanyl now.
Oh god.
Oh, what are we gonna
favorite
do?
subject.
What are we gonna fucking
Check
do?
this out.
What are we gonna fucking do?
Okay, so like I'm watching people die left and right the last few years, and I work in the industry. I work with homeless folks or unhoused people, and so it's really hit hard in both of those. And of course I'm in recovery too. So then, thank you. So then, bye. So then I was just curious, and I was like, oh, I wonder how many people are like how do you quantify how many people are dying? So I go on and for some reason I think about this and I go, how many people that were born in 2001 are still alive now? So it's like 23 years ago, 22 years ago, right? So it's like 89% of the people that were born in 2001 are still alive.
Okay.
And then, so curiously, I go, I wonder, I was born in 71. So 30 years before that, that there's almost 91% of the people that were born in 71 that are still alive.
That's more than.
Yeah. And we've lived 30 years longer.
What the fuck?
So that tells you, like, it's not like there's a bunch of disease that has come and killed kids or something.
Yeah.
I mean, there is. It's just called drug addiction.
Yeah.
And that's, specifically the opiates in general, but now fentanyl is like put like a turbo on killing people.
And it's not gonna stop. See, so like it's not gonna stop. So
it's cheaper,
it's
more dangerous.
Like literally the only way, like I mean, and I'm not saying this is practical, but like the only thing I can think of is like, okay, well, someone has to create a new fucking drug that feels better and doesn't kill you. But how realistic is that?
I know.
Maybe there is something out there,
I know.
But like
well, they're trying to develop a vaccine for opiates right now,
really?
Where it would take the pleasure portion away of the opiate.
Because you really think like people like
would take it?
Would take it?
I mean,
think?
like, dude, I don't know, but I would think that if you got in trouble enough, that the courts could say, okay, you could go do 10 years, or you could get this shot. And which one would you choose? And I think most people would choose the shot.
What if it's like hand abuse, where like if you do enough of it, it fucking comes back?
I don't know.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? But I mean, I guess that's.
I know.
Yeah, that's.
There's no cure for addiction really, unless you like
Yeah.
program, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, okay. So one thing is meth and coke and heroin, right? I mean, people die from heroin. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But like,
Wow.
you could smoke fentanyl one time and fucking die.
Yeah.
Right. So like, alcoholism, dope, coke, like that. You can party like that for a minute and be okay,
Yeah.
and maybe not fry your brain,
You're not doing any
but-
kind of favors for it, though.
But yeah, right. But like you could fucking shoot up some fentanyl one time or smoke some fentanyl one time and fucking that's it, you're done. So it's like, how do you stop that?
Yeah, I don't know, man.
Other than fucking having Narcans everywhere. But it's like if you're getting high alone, like who's gonna hit you with that Narcan?
I don't know. I know that that's how people are dying for sure.
Yeah. Right. And so it's just it's gonna get worse.
Yeah.
It's gonna get worse. I think we're barely at the fucking. We're not even at the peak of this fentanyl epidemic.
I believe you're right.
It's about to. I think it's about to ramp up.
Because like kind of like what you're saying. To what you're saying, it's like it's cheaper, it's more powerful, it's deadlier. Like it's like a perfect storm of bullshit. It's not like usually like when there's like a drug, it kills people and then they kind of get scared away from it. But I feel like there's so many.
I'm scared, bro.
Yeah, there's so many opiate addicts. They're like, no, that's a better high than any other opiate high it has. So why wouldn't I go after it?
So and so like I was talking to I don't know if it was my mom or dad. I don't know. I was talking to somebody about fentanyl, and they were like, but that doesn't make sense. They were like, why would? Because I was saying like before, before the cartels wouldn't touch it. It was off limits, right?
Right.
Now they're all into it, right?
They're making it,
right? And so someone was like, well, why would they want to kill their customers? And I said, because even though it's killing them right now, they're still selling it.
Oh,
and
yeah.
It's still flying off the shelves.
Oh yeah.
And so it's like.
And it's easier, cheaper to make. It's like they don't have to go and grow huge fields.
Someone was saying that it's only out of China, but they're making it in Mexico. No, yeah, that's what I'm saying. I was like, no, the cartels are making that shit now too. It's not just China. It's and that honestly, that's probably why it's so fucking deadly, because they probably don't know what they're doing, and they're probably fucking putting a little less of one thing or putting a little more of another thing to make it fucking stronger, faster, more cheaper, whatever, so they get more bang for their buck, and that's probably what's killing the people,
I mean, I've heard of people falling out when they just handled this stuff.
Just touching it or smelling it. I think you gotta wear a gas mask.
Right. When
to
you're
just
around
to
it.
fucking be around it. And so like my thought, I don't know. So okay, so this drug originally came out of China, right? For the hospitals or something like that.
Oh, dude, we developed this drug, I think, in the '60s.
Fentanyl has been around for that long.
Yeah, but it's never been used for like. I don't think that they actually started developing it till. I mean, for
There's a part of me that wonders, like, was this shit manufactured to kill off a population of people that, they said, okay, well, we can't solve fucking drug addiction, so let's just fucking kill them all.
I don't know, man. I mean, I'm just telling you that, like, just even that thing where I was telling you about the percentage of people that died. It's like we're gonna have the whole generation of people that aren't here. Like, there's gonna be like, like when I grew up and when other people grew up, we get to middle age and there's like a big percentage of the population is middle aged because that's just the cycle of life. Now you're taking away 10% of those people, so when you get to middle age, there's gonna be a whole lot less people now, and like I don't know, maybe what is it like less?
So there's gonna be a bunch of older people and a bunch of younger people.
Yeah.
And no in the middle.
Yeah, I mean, I think that the middle, that the middle, middle-aged people are going to be. I mean, we're living longer nowadays. I don't know, dude. Like, I mean, there's so many conspiracy theories that fly over my head because I'm an old tweaker.
Like what?
Just like, well, since the older population is growing up, like we're lasting longer. They can't support all these people, so maybe they're killing off people. You know what I mean? And or they're going to kill off Social Security because mostly the middle-aged people play the Social Security. So when they, you know what I mean? Like there's all kinds of stuff.
So you mentioned like the population, right? Mm-hmm. So that guy I listened to, Andy Frisella, he says that like birth rates and all that are down, and that if you look at he says that if you look at the markers of what makes an endangered species, that that the human race as a species qualify as an endangered species. Like in the last, I don't know how many years.
We're heading in
that direction. Yeah. Like maybe we're still overpopulated, but we're also not putting out as many as before. And so
that's true.
Like they might say that we're overpopulated, but there's signs that we're underpopulated also,
Yeah.
And so it's like,
I mean, just the culture itself is like nobody's, or not, well, I shouldn't say nobody, but like the percentage of people that used to have kids in their 20s has dropped considerably. So now people are pushing in their 30s and early 40s to have kids when it's harder to have kids. So you're going to have like less people having kids, you know what I mean? Which then again affects the population. And then, I mean, you can go back to COVID. How many people did COVID kill off?
That was another thing that might have been engineered
to
fucking kill.
Hey,
so look, so this guy also says, get ready for another pandemic, right? And so it's like, so COVID was the first, right? Mm-hmm. What if fentanyl is the second epidemic or pandemic or whatever demic?
Right.
Like, okay, COVID didn't kill all the people we wanted, right? So we killed some old people, right? It didn't kill the homeless like we wanted it to. They fucking thrived off of it. So here's fentanyl.
Right.
And let's see if that fucking works.
Yeah, I mean, you can think about the population it's hurting, and it's like you're right. A lot of it is the homeless population, is like populations that seem to be quote unquote a burden on society. It's like, okay, let's kill off those people. That way they won't be spending all of our money that we're taking in over here. I don't know. Like I mean, it all kind of like you can look at it like that, but I don't know if it's really working that way. But definitely, because, and it's funny you should say that. I'm reading this book on gene editing about CRISPR technology, and I don't know if you know much about that, but it's really interesting, man, and the stuff that they're developing now. Because like when you get a virus, there's not really much that actually kills the virus. Once you have a virus, you're just dealing with the symptoms. That's why COVID was so bad. But with this CRISPR technology, where they're able to edit genes, now they're going to be able to fight it rather than give you antibiotics to do certain things in your system. They're going to be able to change your DNA to where it'll just eat the virus itself. Your DNA, the DNA, this genetically modified DNA they're putting inside you, will go after viruses like a Pac-Man. They actually call one of them Pac-Man. It's something Pac-Man, and it's like this. It's this thing that they're working on developing, and they've actually have done tests on it already. So I mean, there's like all this stuff that, and so like you said, so if they're developing that, then people, if there is somebody up there going, you know, like, oh, well, we can't do a virus again because now they got all this other shit that's working against us. So what can we do? Drugs. You know, that's like something we willfully put in our body, and you know, the more dangerous it is, the more, you know, like I've heard that from so many fentanyl addicts. It used to just be opiate addicts, right, where they would just do Vicodin or heroin or whatever. But now, like, there's fools that just do fentanyl.
Yeah.
Which is like insane, man.
Yeah, they don't even fucking.
They don't fuck with like heroin or
They don't mix it with meth.
they
Just
don't
straight
like,
fentanyl.
We're fentanyl.
See, and so some of the people that are dying from it is, so some of them obviously fentanyl users, but I think some of them are also like heroin users,
Yeah,
cocaine users, meth users that don't know that the fentanyl is in there,
yeah,
and that some of these guys are cutting their shit with fentanyl.
yeah.
So shame on you, you know.
I don't know why.
Which I don't understand either, because okay, so now they say they're even lacing weed with fentanyl,
I've heard that.
right? And so here's my thing: if they're lacing everything with fentanyl, I don't want to. Okay, so I used to do coke, I used to do dope. I would never want that fucking effect on my eye. Like, what the?
I
Now I'm
know.
gonna waste more money. I'm gonna waste more high, more time, more energy. That's gonna. And then so then what happens? Like I'm guessing is all right. The dope didn't hit. Let me take another hit. It didn't hit. Let me take another hit. 4 more hits in, boom, you're done. You're gone.
Yeah.
You know?
And Narcan doesn't always work on fentanyl. Fentanyl is fucking strong, man. It's hard to get it out of your system. It's insane, man. It's really fucking crazy that this is like a thing, and that we're kind of powerless to stop it. And I think that I think the government knows that at this point.
You know, I'm blessed in the sense that unknowingly I came across fentanyl a couple years ago, right?
Oh yeah.
And I didn't know I was smoking it, and I smoked it, right? And almost immediately, like my eyes shut. I felt nauseous. My head hurt. Fucking it. If you're listening and you smoke fentanyl, bro, like I don't know what the fuck you find attractive about it, because this was the worst fucking feeling in the fucking world. I thought I was gonna die. I could not open my eyes for 2 days.
Yeah.
You know?
It just didn't feel
And
right.
I felt, I was like it was horrible. Nothing about it felt good, you know?
I have this belief that like, we all do drugs for a specific thing. You know, like, I always like stimulants and help.
Yeah. Oh yeah, all day.
Yeah, and it's because it's sort of like, I think I always felt like I didn't have enough energy or I didn't do enough during the day. And so like when I did it the first time, I was like, oh dude, I can do anything I want. It's like it brought my mood up, it brought everything up.
Yeah.
And so being around like opiates never did it for me. But I know a lot of people that are super like, what is it, like anxious or like they have that kind of anxious personality.
Yeah.
And when they do that, it's like they just get to let go of all that stuff. So, like whatever you described, maybe for somebody else would have been like, oh God, if I could feel that, what I mean?
Fuck that.
But yeah, I know. I think you and I are both stimulant guys.
Yeah, for sure. One time in the county jail, I came across some, they call it China White.
Oh yeah.
And I mean,
Wow.
I'm not gonna say I hated it,
Right.
but it's not something I wanted again. But it was an interesting experience.
Really?
Yeah. Nothing. Nowhere near fentanyl.
Right.
Like, nowhere near that. It was
Right.
a total fucking trippy experience where like I was fucking beaming, right? And I will say I couldn't piss for like 6 hours.
Oh,
It was
really?
the most annoying thing ever, dude. I guess I don't know if it like I don't
It
know.
like relaxes your system.
Some shit I could not piss. Dude, I had to pee so bad I couldn't pee.
Oh, you mean you had to and you couldn't?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. I couldn't pee.
That's weird.
Yeah. So that's I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. That was weird, but yeah. So those are some of the things that have been bugging in my mind, and there's so much earlier I was mentioning how the Senate shut down that bill for the sex trafficking thing. I don't know. I guess it's a big old thing right now too, where like, and I'm not. So I respect everybody's freedom of choice, freedom of speech, freedom to be who you are, have sex with whoever you want, right?
Right.
So what I'm hearing is one of the things that they're trying to do, and it's funny how this movie, The Sound of Freedom, came out, which is about sex trafficking.
Oh.
The Senate shut down this bill about sex trafficking, and then they're trying to make pedophilia something called minor attracted. That's a part of the LGBTQ community.
Really?
Yeah.
Is that like?
So what the fuck's really going on? Like, they're calling, yeah, they're trying to make it a part of that community now. And so
I hope that community like.
I hope they
shuns
fight.
down-
I hope they fight because
like I mean they're well like I think they've been well received or like LGBTQ community IQ or whatever it is has been really kind of like I think it's been like normalized in our society.
Yeah.
When I was a kid, it wasn't.
look at how many years they fought for this
Yeah,
shit, right?
exactly.
All these years they fought for this shit, and now, like, if they were to make this a part, that would just shut down. They would fuck up their whole fucking.
I don't think they would allow that.
They're trying.
Because they've been
trying.
Well, I mean, because I think that in the old days, like a lot of people used to see maybe being gay and being a child molester was like the same thing.
Yeah.
they've been,
I
like,
think people
working
still
hard.
see it like that.
Yeah,
As a matter,
some people do.
I think old school Mexicans see like, oh, that guy. I'm not saying I say this. I'm not saying my family says this,
Yeah.
but I think I've seen,
Yeah.
or
It's like a
heard
cultural
like an old
thing
school
sometimes.
Mexican man saying, oh, hey, that person's gay. Like, don't let your kid around them. You know what I mean?
Right.
And it's just like oh no, that's a red flag, right?
Yeah.
And so they're just normal people, right?
Right.
And so earlier I was mentioning like the government about like protecting themselves. So like that guy listened to was saying like it sounds like they're trying to make this whole thing a part of it to protect people.
Mm.
You know, apparently I don't know. Apparently there's this whole fucking I don't know if it's tinfoil hat shit, but
I don't know, maybe.
maybe
Yeah.
you know. But I mean, it's funny because all these like I'm not gonna say conspiracy theories, but all this information, all these thoughts, and all these like all of this comes from somewhere, right?
Yeah.
You know, it all comes from somewhere. You know.
I mean, the thing with it is I've always been like, let's hear everything out. Let's keep an open mind about it, and because I remember hearing stuff when I was younger and going, that's fucking bullshit.
Right.
You know what I mean? And then later on, it came to be true, or it came, like there was some truth in it, if not fully true, and then like I think having those experiences in your life kind of opens up your mind, going, well, you know what, like. I don't necessarily believe it, but like I'm gonna keep my mind open to it and like keep my eyes open too for the next few years and see if anything actually starts lining up in that direction. If so,
So like all right, so like we'll talk more about protection real quick. All right, so did you see the news that they found cocaine in the White House?
Yeah.
Okay.
I heard about
So
that.
apparently they already did an investigation, right? And there's cameras all over the White House.
Right.
Okay, and they're saying they don't know who did it. They don't know who fucking dropped it.
Yeah.
That the conclusion was there's not a camera in the foyer where it was found.
That's kind of crazy.
So
right?
who are they
I
protecting?
don't know.
Dude, apparently there's cameras all over the
It's
White
probably
House.
Hunter Biden.
Yeah, I mean, hey, bro, like, hey, Hunter, like, if you like to do some cocaine, bro, like, fuck, share it. No, but hey, like, do your thing. I mean, so a lot of this Hunter Biden talk, I don't really know what it has to do with America. I don't. He's not the president. His dad's the president.
I know.
And even then, his dad's not even really the president. He has fucking someone behind him, fucking pulling the strings. You know.
I mean, you look at it's just like so much, and this is no shot on the Democrats or the Republicans,
Yeah.
because like honestly, I'm old enough to know that everybody's
Both fucking up. They're
sides
both
are
fucking up. Yeah.
right. But I remember like the whole thing where Hunter Biden, he got like this post in the Ukraine, and he was making all this money, and he really didn't have the education to have this post, and like to me, like that's sort of the par for the course. I think if you have power, you're gonna get like your people money, you're gonna get them in position in places, and but I mean it's just more exposed now, and people see it more. And I think that we used to look at Mexico and look down our nose at Mexico and go, look at these fuckers. Yeah, they're all corrupt and we're just so perfect up here, and now like you start looking at our politics and we're like, oh, I guess we do the same thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I mean, it is what it is, man. I mean, that's just the way it's always gonna be, probably. But I mean, like you said, I don't even know who's, I mean, because really, like, the president, how much power does he have, you know?
Is it true that he shit his pants?
What?
They're saying that he
I never heard that.
president shit his pants. They call it the president shit. Apparently he shit his pants.
When?
I don't know, but apparently he shits his pants.
Did he shark?
He smells kids.
Yeah, he smells people.
He likes to smell people.
Yeah, you haven't seen that? They have all kinds of video where he's all like giving him a hug, where he's smelling him before he goes on. I'm like, why? Why did you do that, bro? He's a really old dude. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Maybe he just got into some weird habits or something. I don't know.
Hey, maybe he used to sniff cocaine. Now he can't, so he sniffs people.
I
You
don't
know
know.
what I'm saying?
God, no, that's it. I have like a security detail on me.
Fuck, dude. I don't.
Go to jail.
That's what our fucking.
Did you hear about this whole thing with the student loans? They sort of like they were saying, oh, we're gonna forgive $20,000.
So that was Biden, right? Okay, so Biden wanted to. Okay, so now they're saying Biden doesn't have the power to do that.
Yeah, the Supreme Court came and said no, you can't do it.
So I just saw another headline that said Biden said, okay, well now through IDR, which is income driven repayment plans, now we're gonna forgive I don't know how much debt through that.
Yeah.
Which I'm on one of those. I think but I think it's been in fucking not default, but in fucking forbearance because of COVID. I don't know when it's coming back, but I'm gonna call it
September 1st.
I'm gonna reapply for IDR, right?
Yeah.
You know I'm getting zero down, fucking $0 a month for the rest of my motherfucking life. But which is gonna do it anyways, right? But you know, okay, so let's talk about that.
Yeah,
Student loans. Let's talk about debt. I mean, okay. So like, why are they so against it?
I mean, I don't think that.
Is it just because they're trying to they just wanted to make a point like, no, you don't have fucking power to do that?
I mean, I think it's more than that. I think it's like we lend all this money out, and then it's sort of like, I think that there's an ideology out there that says there's a bunch of people. Like I went to school with some people that paid cash or that you know that paid out of their pocket to, and so then when you see other people just getting forgiven loans, they're like, why the fuck did I pay? You know what I mean? So they're kind of, there's something going on like that. But I think the big picture that they're missing is the fact that, like, you know, like I incurred $120,000 worth of debt in school, and now I don't make the kind of money that they want me to make to pay that back.
Yeah.
So there's like an inequality in between what we pay for our education and what we make when we get out. You know?
Well,
if there was equity there, if I had $120,000 in debt and I came out of school making $140,000 a year, then I know I could pay that back, and that should take that out. But it's not the case.
Well, see, I remember like back when I first started college in like 2007. My original major was computer engineering, and I think back then computer engineers were making 80, 90, 100,000 a year.
Yeah. And
so I virtually got a free education, but I do have, you know, student loans, right?
Right.
And so now I don't think they claim. Actually, hold on. I will say my son's mom me and my son. Well, I went to school with this girl, right? I'm not gonna say her name. She's a friend too. She's my son's mom's best friend now, right?
Right.
So we were in college together, me and her. We were in this program called Mass Engineering. It's a Ralph Parsons Institute at Long Beach State.
Oh, okay.
She's a mechanical engineer. She graduated with mechanical engineering. She just got promoted to project manager. She's fine after fucking $90,000 a year, right? But this is
now she makes more than that, right?
No, now she's at 90, right? But hold on. So she had to have graduated we started 2007, 2011, 2012. Imagine 10 years later.
To make $90,000.
10 years in the game.
I know, that's a long time, dude.
To make $90,000 as an engineer.
I would think that she'd make more than that.
Yeah, you know what I mean? And I remember back then, that's what they were saying. Oh, project managers can make $120,000 a year.
Yeah.
But they don't tell you, oh, well, it might take you 20 years to get to that.
Yeah.
You know?
I know. I mean, even me going to school, man, when I got out of school, man, it was from my master's, right? You know, there was jobs out there that were paying 15, 16, 17 bucks an hour.
What the fuck is that?
And I mean, and because they know that you need 3,000 hours to qualify for the test to become fully licensed, and so like, you know, people they're just ruthless like that, man. You know, and like So you're sitting around for 2, 3, 4 years after you finish college, making minimum wage basically. In LA, that's not even enough to pay for freaking rent.
Yeah.
And then maybe 4 years later, you're gonna get a job that then pays, I don't know, hopefully $70,000-$80,000 a year. You know what I mean? Which gives you a little bit more.
Barely.
Yeah, I know. I mean, seriously,
Barely.
if you're alone, if you're a single person in LA trying to live on $70,000-$80,000 a year, you're kind of scraping by.
Right now.
Especially if you got a car payment.
Right now, they're saying, and see, that's why I don't want one, because I'm just like, fuck. Like, okay, not that there's anything wrong with having full coverage insurance, but what comes with having a car payment is full coverage.
Yeah.
The highest fucking insurance you gotta have.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And so, like, I'm not saying that you shouldn't have that. You should have that.
Right.
But, like, say you're on a budget and you buy a car from a private user, then you can get, like, a middle grade that's a little bit cheaper, save a couple bucks, you know?
Yeah.
And hopefully you never get into an accident. You don't have to deal with that anyways.
Right.
But then when you have that car note, you gotta have that higher one. And if you're anything like me or you, I have a record. I think at some point, I think my record should be fucking not holding me back as much anymore. It's been so long.
10 years.
You know, it's been so long.
Usually 10 years.
Yeah.
You know?
It's
But I mean, you still couldn't apply to be a cop. They would always see it then at that point.
Yeah, right. Well, you know, we know a guy from the club his name's Wayne.
Oh, I know Wayne.
He was 51, 59 times, and then he became a cop.
Really?
Yeah, but I don't think he had a record like me or you.
He was 5150.
9 times. I mean,
Dude, I'm supposed to have him on my show.
he got sober. He was sober for like 9 years and he became a cop.
Wow, I didn't know that. I can't wait to hear his story.
Let me tell you, bro. Like.
Butler, right?
Yeah. Let me tell you, like, if dude, I know a guy. There's this client I have. He's a cop. Well, he's a shop client. I don't know how long he's been a cop. He drives a fucking Audi A7 or S7. That fucking Hitman fucking transporter car, bro. Fucking white. Oh my, I'm like, bro. You know, I have a friend. He's a sheriff. He has a house in Fontana. Beautiful family now.
Yeah.
Fucking, and I know he's doing good. You know, I'm like, fuck, man, I fucked that shit up.
You know, one of my buddies, his dad is retired LAPD detective, and he's got a Range Rover. He's got a fucking Aston Martin. I'm like, how come you don't have those kind of cars, bro? Like, those are like.
See, now those jobs. Now, say in 2007, 2008, when I first entered college, being a cop was a job where they were like, oh, cops don't make enough.
Yeah.
But now.
Yeah. I mean, I guess.
I mean, maybe they don't make enough, but apparently there's not enough cops. So like, every department everywhere has overtime for all of their guys. You know, so they're all working a lot anyway. You know, so it's like, hey man, like. Fucking Biden or fucking whoever the Attorney General is or Department of Justice, like lower the requirements, like fuck. Yeah. Hey, you have some solid motherfuckers being cops that know the way of the law. You know what I'm saying? Like, let some tweeter try to fuck with me, I'll stop that fool. Oh man, you know, but
you know, they did. It has been going. Society has been going to where they put less stuff on ex-felons or ex-con, because when I first finished school, which was December in 2019, and I finished school, and then I knew that there was going to be an uphill battle for me to get it's called an associate marriage and family therapy, like it's like a certification so that you can like get your hours.
Okay.
So like to do that, you have to send in to the Board of Behavioral Sciences, and they ask all this stuff. And it used to be where if you had a felony, you had to go through the court system, you had to get all the court transcripts, you had to go to the arresting agency, you had to get all their reports, you had to turn it in with your stuff, and then there might be like a hearing or something. And so I kind of COVID happened right after I graduated, so I was like, I don't know what to do. So I just waited an extra year, and in that year, like at the end of 2020, they dropped all that stuff. So they're like, if you have a felony and it's not like a murder or it's not like a violent crime, then we're not requiring all that stuff. We're requiring a few things, extra things, but stuff I can do. And sure enough, like it was really easy for me to get my associates, But yeah, like, so I mean, I guess stuff is starting to get a little bit easier for people.
That's good. Record. As it should, yeah. As it should. You know, I think, you know, there's probably, you know, some people out there that probably still locked up to this day that deserve a second chance, you know?
Oh, yeah.
And I'm sure there's a lot of people that are there that shouldn't even be there. You know, you hear about all these wrongful convictions, and even though it's crazy, I've heard that like there's a famous attorney, Nick Rosenberg, I think, he's a criminal defense lawyer, right?
Oh, okay.
You hear of these guys, they get found not guilty, right? And they still end up in prison for years until they finally get let out, and it's like, what the fuck? Like,
you mean after
and
you convicted once and then they get overturned, but by the time they get released,
yeah,
it's like 5 years.
If I was like, I'll sue the shit out of California or whatever state or the feds.
Most of them do get a nice chunk of money when they come out.
I hope so.
Who cares? I mean, at that point, like,
you just lost fucking 30 years of your life.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. No, it's pretty terrible. I was in prison with dudes that were like in federal prison with dudes that had been there for like 20 years. And they were just kind of like hood dudes that were like selling like dime bags on the corner. But it was like during a thing when they put these super laws against crack, and they there's a dude making like $10 a day or something, and he goes away for 20 years in prison over selling like a rock of crack. And like when I was there, they were overturning those laws and they were letting those guys out left and right. But I'm just like, yeah, but you don't get those 20 years back.
Yeah.
It sucks. It sucks. The system is not perfect.
Now they should make those laws with fentanyl.
Oh yeah.
You sell 1 gram of fentanyl, you're done.
Yeah, I mean it's different category, right?
You know what I'm saying?
I mean, crack was one thing, and and fentanyl's another, I think. But I don't know, man.
I've seen someone smoke crack. It didn't even look that bad. I mean, I didn't do it, but I mean, he looked like he was just fucking like ready to pass out. Like
the murder rate spiked right around when crack was getting big because the gangs were fighting against each other for territory, But and that's why they kind of went crazy with it. But really, like the people that were using it, well, I mean, I don't think that they did as much crime as the people that were selling it did.
Yeah. I think it's the tweakers that are more dangerous than anything.
The thoughts that went through my head when I was fucking high, yeah, definitely.
You know what I'm saying?
Protect yourself from me, please.
How much time are we right now?
We're at 1:15.
I think that's a good way
to call it.
Yeah, that's a good way to end this. That's wow. Damn, you see, we just fucking kept that going.
We just kept it going, man. It's just like old times.
Yeah. We appreciate y'all coming. Thank you, Dean. Thank you, Diva. She's out there walking on the beach. Thanks guys for coming. I'm gonna have another episode, I believe, in about 2 or 3 weeks. I have a guest for August 6th.
Ooh.
I have a guest for August 6th, and it's a female.
Oh.
Ooh.
Does she like walks on the beach?
She might.
All right, cool.
She might.
Cool.
So.
Are you gonna go to the beach day next week?
I have to work. So I'll see what's up. Maybe we can go after, but I have to. I'm working every Saturday, Sunday, no matter what. So
okay.
Someone's gotta pay those bills, right?
I know what you're saying.
Thanks for coming out, guys. We out.
Thanks, bro. Okay.
Damn.
Yeah. Okay, so now I'll turn this off, and then do you want to add anything to it?
No, it's good like that.
Okay, so you want to just make it an MP3? And then,
Yeah, like I think that's how I did it before, right?
Yeah.
Let's
see. And then would I email it to you? Is that how you do it?
No, you would save it on there, and I would do it directly from there.
Oh yeah, that's right.